Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to go ahead and give it a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. What's going on, Atwog? Good to see you here. What's going on, Oscar? Peak Profits, Doolin, Akshay, Crypto Collector. Good to see you guys here. It's going to be a great stream, guys. V-Rod, good to see you. Got about a minute and a half left, and then we will start the stream. What's going on, David, Steven, Pixel, Carlos, Demerkin, Dylan, Carson, that one Mexican, Kazamars. Oh, that's an interesting name. Tovlaji. Good to see you. Mark, Super Gringo, Samir, Mr. Chicas. A lot of familiar faces in here. Buenos dias, Argentina. Good to see it. Buen dia. Buen dia, Mr. Chicas. Peek Within. Riadul. Egoists. Carlos Genzi. Awesome people. Carlos says from Chile. Awesome. Love Chile. Need to go visit there. David says hi from Georgia. Awesome. I need to visit there as well. A lot of good countries I still need to go to. Awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I was in Singapore last week, for those who didn't know, for Token 2049. Now, just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Doing some live streams for you guys. So, there'll be one tomorrow as well. A live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So. Okay, Oliver, I do what I can. All right, guys, that is up. Let's go ahead and get this stream started. So, looking at 24-hour liquidations, guys. 387 million. The market's been choppy the past couple days, and really, there's been no big significant developments liquidations-wise. Again, the big thing you want to look for 24-hour liquidations is once we get towards that billion-dollar level. That's the big thing to watch. So, keep an eye on that. Once we get close to $1 billion, that'll mark a local top or local bottom. In the meantime, there's going to be a lot of chop. Now, looking at the liquidation heat map. So right now, Bitcoin is showing some liquidity near the upside at 122.6, but a majority is down here to 119.5. So expecting potentially one last flush on Bitcoin near that 119K level. But if any of you guys are in the Bitcoin long from my leverage call, give me some fire emojis. Curious how many people are in that long right now riding that up. I know my average entry is only 120.8, but Bitcoin actually went down to 119.6. after I called it, so some of you guys should be in some good profits right now. But so far, that trade is going well. Now, besides that, I am still in the Bitcoin long, Mahedi, so keeping an eye on that. Awesome. Dini, Said, Oscar. Awesome, guys. Glad you guys are making some profits so far. But still waiting for that first TP on that. You know, that 123.9K, looking for that to get tagged again. And then potentially 126 after. Awesome. A lot of people are in that long. Great to see it, guys. Great to see people make some profits in here. So hopefully we see that TP1 hit. But like I said, I still have some orders for 119 in case we do go a little bit lower with that stop loss. I believe it's 116.4. Now, looking at some news items. So, from Watcher Guru, let's look over the past week. A lot's happened over the past week, guys. So we're just going to go ahead. We'll try to go over it quickly. But basically, a lot of stuff that's happened. One of them being El Salvador continuing to emphasize that they're holding their Bitcoin still, and they're over 100% in profits. Love to see that. You also have Morgan Stanley, the $1.3 trillion bank, saying Bitcoin is a scarce asset akin to digital gold. The firm will allow financial advisors to flexibly allocate cryptocurrency to their portfolios. So guys, this is a big deal because more people are now starting to come to crypto. More investors are starting to come to crypto. And like you're seeing with these institutions and these banks, it's only going to get more prevalent. Also, you're seeing the U.S. government shutdown pushed investors to Bitcoin as a safe haven asset. This is interesting, right? Because the government, the shutdown, everyone was very hesitant once that happened. There was a lot of uncertainty with it. But now we're seeing investors show their hand and basically still go towards risk on assets. Now, we'll talk about risk on assets and how I do think a flight to crypto, for a flight to safety into crypto is happening. And the reason why, again, this government shutdown is pushing investors to Bitcoin and other safe haven assets is because there's a lot of uncertainty, right? And Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation, a hedge against uncertainty. So when you have the government shut down, still shut down, what are investors going to flee towards, right? And so economic numbers aren't being published right now. So we don't know how much interest rates are going to be cut. And so that's something to watch as well. Now, I will say we did have tariffs recently increase, so that may be a short-term downside, okay? And I'll talk about that in a minute. But nonetheless, the fact that stocks are going up and crypto is more or less chopping or going up is a good sign, even while the government shut down. So it shows where people's interests are at. With that said, as crypto goes up, you have the dollar losing 10% of its value this year. What does that mean? Well, when you see stocks and gold going up in tandem, that tells you investors are losing faith in central banks. It tells you they're looking for other safe haven assets. If it's not the dollar anymore, it's not bonds, what is it? It's stocks and it's crypto. And now we're potentially seeing a top in gold in the near future, which where do you think people are going to go to that flight to safety afterwards? They're going to go to crypto. And so guys, there's still a lot of opportunity with cryptocurrency right now. Also, you have the whole Binance, the BNB season for the past 2 weeks, which was crazy. And so that's something to watch out for. And we're going to go over Aster as well, Trend Trio. I ask you to kindly calm down, and then I will cover the Aster chart. But emotions are high, I understand, with Aster. A lot of BNB tokens, guys, got cut in half, 50% overnight. And that was, I think, yesterday when that happened. But nonetheless, guys, this should be a testament to everyone here, okay? I want to say this to everyone. Anytime you have assets literally going up every day, you're making money hand over fist, it's not going to last. People were euphoric. Aster went from 8.5 cents over $2.40. If you didn't take profit on the run up, I don't know what to tell you. I am still bullish long term on Aster, okay? We'll go over the chart. It's a descending wedge. If it breaks below 150, we're going down to 135. But I do still believe Aster can be bullish long term once they do announce their buybacks. I know that potentially they do have their airdrop October 14th. And so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm still holding Aster. I'm sure a lot of people here are still holding. So we'll go over the chart in a minute and go over that. But yeah, just want to kind of a reminder to people is the market moves in rotations, okay? As Luke always says, where attention goes, money flows. So is attention going to BNB still, or is it now going to privacy tokens like Zcash? Is it going to silver tokens like Litecoin? Is it going to ETF tokens? Is it going to RWA, tokenization of assets? I mean, where is the puck going? And that's what you have to look for, guys, is you don't aim for where the puck is at, the hockey, the hockey puck. You aim for where it's going. And so if you can aim where it's going, you will earn much, much more. Now, also, we have billionaire Paul Tudor saying Bitcoin is digital gold. Love to see that. More billionaires now adopting crypto. And then Senator Cynthia Loomis saying purchases for a strategic Bitcoin reserve could start anytime, guys. The U.S. government's going to start purchasing more Bitcoin. We know that because Bo Hines was one of the executive digital team members for the Trump administration for crypto assets. And he was saying that the government was exploring ways to accumulate more Bitcoin before he left over a month ago. And that could be via tariff savings, via gold certificates, or what have you. But there is still a plan to accumulate more Bitcoin. Senator Cynthia Lummis is very pro-crypto, and she is definitely in the loop with a lot of that stuff, so great to see on there. Also, you have the NYC owner, Intercontinental Exchange, invest $2 billion in Polymarket, largest private round in crypto history. More people investing. TradFi is getting over, guys. How much money is in TradFi? 1 trillion, 2 trillion? Try 10 to 20 trillion. A lot of money's in TradFi, guys. So it's just only a matter of time before everyone else just rips into the market and we go higher. Again, more hype with the BNB meme season. I do think memes are going to catch on. I don't know with BNB. I think that ship has almost sailed. CZ is obviously going to still try to pump it, but it should be noted that we all got very euphoric off of BNB and BNB season. And so how much more juice is left to squeeze in that, we'll have to see. I'm sure CZ still has a few tricks up his sleeve. So keep an eye on that. Also, you have JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon saying the U.S. government shutdown will not hurt financial markets. Again, some more bullish assets there. Then also we have the SEC plans to formalize innovation exemption for crypto companies by the end of the year. Again, more deregulation for companies, more adoption. We had Hyperliquid also. MetaMask launching their in-wallet perpetuals trading through Hyperliquid. Very good to see that. And we have the IRS furloughing nearly 50% of their staff. What could that mean? I know a lot of people make it into crypto now thinking that the SEC won't have enough people to audit them. But guys, always pay your taxes. Higher CPA. Make sure you pay your taxes. And then you have the Trump coin ETF listed on the DTCC. Very good to see that. Then also you had Senator Cynthia Lummis saying she's working to eliminate taxes on small Bitcoin transactions. So now the dollar amount was, I believe, less than $600. So there's a ton of opportunity with this, guys. Think about it. The only expensive items are going to be appliances or maybe your mortgage. Besides that, most of your transactions are under $600. And so that's going to be a huge win for the space if this happens. Also, you have Luxembourg Sovereign Wealth Fund allocating 1% of its portfolio to spot Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock nearly holds $100 billion of Bitcoin ETFs. Love to see that. And then silver, guys, reaching all-time high of $50. Just like gold is running up, silver is next. Keep an eye on silver, guys. And what is the silver to Bitcoin's gold, so to speak? That is Litecoin. Litecoin has been doing very good as well. I don't think it's a coincidence the two are going up in tandem. Also, you have $5.1 trillion asset manager State Street saying 60% of institutional investors plan to increase their allocation in Bitcoin and crypto. So State Street is another bank that's helping increase adoption. Also, you have Bybit becoming the first fully operational licensed crypto exchange in the UAE. More exchanges to follow. The New York Fed president is calling for more interest rate cuts this year. Like I said, October 29th, it's going to be a 25 basis point cut most likely. If we see any more after that, we'll have to see. But so far, I'm only expecting 2 this year. The one we had in September and then October. But we'll have to see. Also, we have Deutsche Bank saying central banks may hold significant amounts of Bitcoin and gold by 2030. Again, more adoption. Morgan Stanley removes their restriction on Bitcoin and crypto investments for all clients. Love to see that. And then major global banks are collaborating on plans to launch joint stablecoin initiatives. Russia's allowing banks to conduct crypto-related activities under strict regulation. Again, more adoption from other countries. Spot Bitcoin ETFs trading volume surpasses 1 billion in the first hour of trading today. So guys, a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. But you can see there is a lot of catalysts. So love to see that. Now let's go over the stock macro analysis, and then I will answer some questions. So, looks like we had a little rejection here on the S&P, 6,700. Now, we'll have to see what happens as far as the weekly close, but RSI was overbought, may finally be turning over, guys. Now, this is something I want to mention because whenever the RSI was oversold, that marked a bottom in stocks, okay? Now, when the RSI is overbought, could that mark a top? Very, very possible, guys. Very possible. 6,700 is the top for stocks. We have a bleed near 6,640 and 6,400 before a potential bounce by the end of October. Always something to keep in mind with how overextended we are. So watching that. And then gold, same thing here. Could gold be topping out? I mean, it's above 4,000 now. Crazy to see that. But what's going to happen here? So we're having a pullback in the market. Again, keep an eye on this. but nonetheless, because of the tariff rising, the tariffs recently, but we'll have to see what happens with that. But the RSI, if it tops out here, I think gold is going to be going to 36.30. Definitely keeping an eye on that gold, that daily, weekly close, and if gold can close above 4,000 or not. And then we have oil futures at 59.70. Again, it could be in this descending wedge. Looks like it wants to drop below it. And then the US dollar, the DXY, rejecting off of 99.50. This resistance here in May of this year could drop down at a minimum 98.80, and I look for a drop even further to 98.20. RSI still crossing to the upside there. Love to see that. But like I said, there is still a lot going on with Trump threatening a massive increase on tariffs on Chinese products coming into the United States. So if that happens, again, more uncertainty, further drop in the market. Let's go and look at some questions real quick. So, wow, Peak Within is in from Antarctica. Very cool. Switzerland, Poland, awesome, awesome. So yeah, I'll go over Aster in a minute. Again, it needs to hold above 150 for me to remain bullish. Cool says, is it worth it to buy Bitcoin right now? And what are your thoughts on the Bitcoin CME gap at 110,000? As long as Bitcoin holds a daily above 120K, I think it's worth it. But if it doesn't, then yeah, it's going to be much lower. It's going to be around 117 if not. So I am not Smart Money Crypto. I am CryptoData. So if you guys aren't following me on X, feel free to do so. This is who's speaking right now, CryptoData. So if you guys aren't following me, definitely follow me on there. Try to give you guys the best content I can. Let's see. All right, awesome. Gets a lot of people in that Bitcoin trade. Sack Shams says, what's your opinion on Zcash? Zcash, no opinion on it. I know privacy tokens are having their time right now, but just be careful. After everything's already pumped with those, probably going to be going to the next narrative. All right, Dylan says, can you give us advice on how you spend your monthly income, like fashion or things you like? You know, honestly, when I spend my monthly income, it's really, I mean, so I bought the new iPhone, I bought some AirPods, let's see, I bought a case. I buy things that just help me be more productive. So I'll buy supplements, for working out. Obviously, I'll buy healthy food. I'll buy spring water in glass bottles, Mountain Valley. And I really don't buy a lot of clothes. I mean, occasionally I'll buy new clothes, but maybe that's once every couple months. I mean, because I already have a lot, so not trying to get any more than I need. Besides that, I help family out. That's a big one. And yeah, I mean, I'll be charitable with as well. So I try to be as helpful as I can with my income that I get and not buy too many unnecessary things, but just stuff that'll help me be more productive. Like I bought the Tesla Model Y, guys. If any of you guys have a Tesla Model Y, great car. Especially the new Juniper model. Amazing car, guys. Full self-driving is crazy. I'll look over Aster in a minute. As far as discretionary income, Dylan, how much I spend, I would say maybe 20%. Houdini says BTC at 119K now. Ooh, let's check. Let's check Bitcoin now since it is dropping right now. Aster, again, falling out of this descending wedge. Let's see what happens here. Bitcoin with that drop. So I did draw this target here at potentially when we had the RSI crossing below the signal line, just like we had here. Bitcoin dropped 6%. And so if that happens again, we'll see Bitcoin go down to 116 to 117K. This will be the next target, guys, if Bitcoin continues dropping here, which it looks like it will. So I would place your potential buy orders near 116 and 117, and then go from there. But like I said, we'll see if 120 can hold on the daily. But yeah, a lot of bearish action right now for that. Pixel, if Aster closes below 150 on the daily, I would sell. Luis says, so I hope your family's doing great. Appreciate your time. Everyone step closer to get inside premium. Thanks to you guys. Awesome, Luis. Appreciate that. Dylan says, what brand of health supplements do you recommend? Also, is Amway a good brand? Thanks. So I'm not sure if Amway is a good brand. I need to check that out. But for supplements, creatine monohydrate with Creapure is very, very good. I think everyone should take creatine monohydrate as long as you're drinking half a gallon of water a day. And then whey protein isolate is good for post-workout. Rifle says Bitcoin's going to 116K. Very possible. David, turnover from 119.3. This cycle on veteran difficulty. Yeah, right. That's the thing too, guys, is who thinks that we've topped out this cycle? Who thinks that we've topped out this cycle? So if you guys think that we topped out this cycle, give me a 1 in the chat. If you guys don't think that we've topped out for the cycle, give me a 2 in the chat. Because I know that October marks the 4-year cycle, and that would mark the top, historically. So let's see. If you guys think we topped out the cycle, give me 1 in the chat. If you don't think we topped out, give me a 2 in the chat. If you think we still have higher to go. Martin with Aster, same thing. I'm still bullish long-term on it, but it's not looking good with everything else. And so if it can't hold above 150 on the daily, I'll probably be out of it. Gen Z says, why are we not trading BNB? We could still trade BNB. It's just how high it's gone already could be due for a pullback. Doolin says, yeah, CD, would love your insight on the BNB chain hype. Yep. Yeah, just went over that. Again, a lot of hype with it. Now there's going to be rotation to other assets. Thoughts on Avantis? I do not like Avantis because the team was selling, or at least there's a lot of FUD with that and Kraken selling. I would assume Aster does make a new all-time high this calendar year, Pixel, eventually. Diane says, what do you think about Solana right now? So I'm bullish above 215 on the daily. Yeah, Tao's been doing amazing. Trin Trio says he was joking. All right, Trin Trio. Let's check Aster since you guys were asking about it. So here's what I had for Aster. Potentially this scenario happening. But again, guys, like this support needs to hold in this descending wedge. If this support doesn't hold, we're going to at least 137. So 130 to 137. We're going at least down here for Aster. It does not look good. It is dropping quickly right now. Yeah, I'd probably get out of Aster, most likely. I mean, if 150 can't hold, I'd probably get out of Aster. That does not look good. We have the airdrop October 14th, which will create more downward pressure. So let's see, guys. Let's see if this 150 level holds. We'll have to look at that. Afterwards, I look for 175 to 185 being the next big resistance. But yeah, the market is in fear mode right now. You're seeing this real time, guys. The market's in fear mode. A lot of people are selling. Aster having a good bounce. Can it hold above 150? I feel like I'm commentating a horse race. And it's going down. We got there 155. Can it hold 155? Going down 150, 150, 150. Who's going to get 150? So yeah, we'll see what happens with Aster. But very interesting to say the least. That one Mexican says, is getting into the Bitcoin long right now bad? No, it's not bad. It's peak fear right now. So that's why I put the entry 119 and 121.5. So I mean, now you're getting a great entry if you haven't entered yet with that stop. Honestly, guys, the stop loss on Bitcoin, I know I had it at 116.4, but if Bitcoin does drop lower, I mean, heck, it'd almost be best to have it at like 115.4. If you're getting in at 119K and that's your entry, you're probably best with your stop loss at 115.4. That's the best I would say. Pixel says Tesla. I'll have to look at the Tesla chart too. Let's look at the Tesla chart right now, because Tesla is a great stock. And right now, we're finally having the rollover. But look at that daily stock RSI. Funny enough, it's oversold. Very interesting. A good area for Tesla is going to be that 420 area, Elon's favorite number. But I think more realistic, what you're looking for is 360. If you can get Tesla near 360, great area right there. But yeah, probably I would say 415 to 420 may hold. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Atwa says, what is WTI crude oil and why does it matter? So it only matters because basically you look at that for transportation costs. The higher oil, the higher transportation costs, the higher chance of inflation. And then, people basically flee from risk on assets at that point. So you want to see oil between your 60 to 70. A little bit lower than that, not too bad, but yeah, just having a fine balance with it. Luke Demand says, what are your thoughts on the altcoin market right now? Bullish Q4? Still bullish Q4, yeah. Probably a chop drop until the end of October, though. Makita says, how do you view AIXBT analysis on X? I'm not really bullish on it. Honestly, it had its hype. I think people put some emphasis on it, but it hasn't had the relevancy in a while, in my opinion. We'll go over Solana real quick. So this is Solana here. It's breaking through 215. The next level I'd watch out for would be 203. That's still what I'm watching. And remember, it's in this little pennant formation here. So this would be healthy. I mean, we're still within the pennant, so this is still healthy, right? You still see a little drop. Boom, 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 boom. Higher. That's a possibility here. So, yeah. Keep an eye on Solana. If the daily closes below 215, bearish. If not, then still have some room potential to break to the upside here. So, yeah, if we close the daily below 215, next level of interest is going to be 201. If we close above, then the next area of resistance is going to be around 230. If SOL closes above 235 on the daily, extremely bullish, and we're going straight to 250. WS Man says, I'm new to crypto. Could you point me in the right direction on where to start? Yeah, WS Man. So on the Gym Runners YouTube channel, we have some tutorials, or I had some technical analysis basics. It's the third video from the bottom. If you go to the Gym Hunters YouTube channel and click on the videos tab, watch technical analysis basics. Learn the basics of technical analysis. Next, when starting crypto, follow myself at the CryptoData. If you guys haven't followed me, I'll go ahead and post my X in chat. Also, if you guys aren't following Virtual Bacon, another great guy, very good macro analyst, follow him. Also, if you aren't following Benjamin Cohen, he's one of the best macro analysts that I know. Follow him as well. And then obviously, if you aren't following the official Gym Hunters accounts, follow that as well. And so, all good accounts for you to follow, guys. Again, with myself, I post as much good data as I can, so definitely check that out if you haven't. Let's see. Qual says, buy yourself some houses in Africa, buy more assets. Yeah, definitely I could use the extra income to buy more real estate, to buy gold, silver, and different assets into stocks and others. So 100% Qual. Hey, what's going on, Q-Tags? Good to see you. Yeah, Fartcoin, that's another one to keep an eye on, as well as Bucky. I know that I was saying memes are going to have another run soon. I still do believe that. Still some potential. With Fartcoin right now, near 55 cents will be a good buy level for that, if any of you guys are thinking of getting in. Still opportunity there. Israel says, what's your take on XRP and how low do you think it'll go if Bitcoin can't hold 120K? Let's go ahead and check on XRP. Ooh, XRP is breaking down out of its pennant formation. Not too good. If XRP breaks down here, I would look at 260 Israel. 260 for XRP, it'd be good support. AJ says, dropping on China tariff news. Yes, we are. Strap in, boys. It's going to be a fun ride. Mohammed says, analysis AVNT. Mohammed loves the AVNT. Let's see, Avantis. Ooh. Avantis looks like a limp noodle. Not much going on here. I may be a buyer at 28 cents if it gets down there. We can look at the 4 hour. Yeah, see, here's what you don't want to see. Break below support and then a retest of it as resistance. That tells you they're still much lower. Now, if you're eager to buy Avantis, which I would not be, maybe 72 cents. Maybe 72 cents, but still, I'm not in Avantis, guys. It's way too risky. There's drama about the team selling, and so just keep that in mind. Pretty bearish. Lewis says, appreciate your help to translate the overall market. Hi from Costa Rica. Awesome, Lewis. Appreciate you. Love to Costa Rica. Need to visit there. The Trend Trio says his stop loss 116. Yes, Trend Trio. The stop loss is near 116 for Bitcoin because I was expecting us to dip to 119 and maybe go a little bit lower. But the next area of interest would be 116 to 117. That's why I was saying potentially lower that stop loss a little bit. So if we have a further drop, let me go ahead and keep the Bitcoin chart up. Ooh, 118.8. Look at that drop, guys. Look at that. Wow. All right. So it looks like the market may want to head to 116 to 117. So that's where I would have the next limit buy orders. So like I said, if you're still in the Bitcoin long right now from 119, then I would place stops at 115.4. And then I would have bids down at 116 to 117 in case. But yeah, it's no telling how much further Bitcoin could go down. Hopefully we stop fairly soon. Trend Trio says, you think Aster is bearish now? I think it's bearish if we can't get above 150 on the daily, which I think we're crossing below it right now as we speak. We're still holding up. Aster is still holding that 150 level, guys. That's impressive. During this whole drop, Aster is holding on for dear life. If it breaks 150, it's going. I guarantee you, it's going down to 135. That's why I would say you could have your stop loss at 145, or even having your stop loss below, at 149. It could be a good one as well. Okay, let's see. From the poll, so a lot of people are thinking that we have not topped out. A few are thinking we have topped out this cycle. Ooh, relatively even, guys, as far as people thinking we topped out or not. So, very interesting there. Huh. That tells me, again, a lot of uncertainty. Still pretty even there. Hey, no problem, David. Sol, just talked about Sol. AJ says market cycles usually end with greed, not fear. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, so there was a lot of greed in the market. Is that greed going to continue? Have we topped out? It's very possible still we've topped out, so just make sure you guys are managing your risk accordingly with that. Trend Trio says, I'm holding spot Aster and leverage long, lick price at 136. Am I cooked? You're cooked if the daily closes below 150, Trend Trio. That's when you're cooked. Otherwise, Aster's holding on for dear life right now. Rialdo says, what do you think about Pengu? Pengu, I think, is bullish above 3 cents. If we stay above 3 cents on Pengu, it's good. But it's at 2.87 now, so not looking good on that daily. The daily can't close. Pengu is in a free fall right now. Next target for Pengu is 2.66 cents. Smith says, how to balance action versus patience, especially during choppy markets, especially when data is providing mixed signals. At that point, if there's still uncertainty, you just don't get in. You wait until there's more certainty in the market. Because with uncertainty comes a lot of fear. But, there's still opportunity within fear, like I was saying earlier. But at the same time, guys, just keep that in mind that if there's a lot of fear in the market, it means there's a lot of opportunity, but like I said, I would wait until there's better opportunity before trying to jump the gun on a lot of these. So, and that's the biggest thing I would say is make sure you guys are still practicing that patience with a lot of these. All right, and then let me just doing a few things here. All right. So, like I said, Bitcoin is still, yeah, so we were talking about Pengu. Let's see what other comments we have. What's going on, Sebastian? Trivia says, Linea is hurting my eyes, negative 25%. Yeah, guys, Linea, if it can't hold 2.5 cents, going much lower to 2.228. So I'd probably get out of Linea. Cole says, money died in 1971. It's now on the screen. Exactly. Once we got off the gold standard, that's when things started getting bad. David says, now it's time to turn over for BTC. Yeah. Yeah, BTC is definitely definitely testing people's resolve right now, I'll tell you that. Hype says, could Aster form a potential W on the daily? It's possible. It's possible, yes. Trend Trio says, CZ and Thread Guys stream bearish. There you go. David says, what do you think about alt season? I still think we still have some alt season left, but it's going to be a lot of chop in between. Ethereum. Let's go over Ethereum, guys. Here's what I got for Ethereum. Holy. Ethereum went all the way down to 40.60. Big drop for Ethereum, guys. Ethereum literally fell off a cliff. Literally fell off a cliff. So here's the next thing for Ethereum is you want to look for that 37 to 3,800 level. This also coincides with the 21 weekly SMA where Benjamin Cohen thinks we're going before Ethereum makes all-time highs again. This is one of the scenarios I drew for Ethereum. Looks like that's playing out to a T, actually. So potentially a bounce near 4,250 to 4,300 before rejection down here towards the end of October and then continuing from there. So it looks like scenario 3 is in play. So strap in. It's going to be a fun ride. Already went over Avantis. Just went over ETH. Philip says check Cake. I'm assuming Cake is a pile of mush right now after this drop. Yeah. Cake is not enjoyable right now. If you want to eat cake, you're going to have a bad experience. So I would say look at 313 for Cake. And then below that, look for around 265. Because right now the cake is spoiled. And so you're getting sick from eating the cake right now. So you got to wait till 313 at least. Martins, what do you think about XPL? I think XPL is a dead chart. I think XPL literally was down only. I mean, that looks horrible, guys. XPL, I mean, that's worse than a limp noodle at that point. I mean, if you're looking to buy XPL, I would say at a minimum, look for 60 cents. No higher than 60. Look for 60. If it breaks 60, I mean, if you want to get creative with it, 53 to 60. But yeah, that's limp noodle central right there. So I would not be eager to buy right now. I'm waiting. Like, guys, during these downturns, you're literally waiting until everything's in confluence. Your indicators are oversold. It's at major support in the daily or weekly. Then you maybe DCA in. Mohammed already went over Avantis. I said it's basically a dead chart. Let's see. Tim says, do most bull run rallies have quick upside and then extended consolidation and pullbacks? So usually most bull run rallies, you do have standard 20-30% pullbacks in the middle of a bull run rally, usually 3 to 4 of those. But I would say in a really good alt season, the pullbacks are shallow, not like they are here. Like, we're seeing a lot of tokens just getting wrecked right now. I mean, could this be part of the 20-30% pullback? Yes, it could, but we'll have to see. So, Sebastian says, what do you think about Pepe? I think Pepe's a funny frog. I think that right now, Pepe's not so funny with the price tanking. But, man, even this market's getting me. So, if the daily closes below 8.8, then it's going to be very bearish for Pepe. If it closes below 8.8, it's going to be very bearish. But, I mean, it's right near that major support, so maybe it's a good buy. But like I said, indicators aren't in confluence yet. I'm staying out. But if you want to get a little risky, right here is not too bad. BitTensor TA thoughts from Pixel. Let's go over Tau. Ooh, look at that. Rejected off of 395 perfectly. This is why you draw those SR lines, guys. So BitTensor is actually overbought on the stock RSI. Could have some further pullback to 360 and then 330. And then 300. So if you can get Tau near 300, that'd be a great buy. 360, I'd probably DCA. And then 330 at DCA as well. Again, this is where you got to maintain your risk management and keep an eye because, yeah, with see, yeah, I don't know if I'd be a buyer at 360 actually with the stock RSI overbought like it is. I'd be more apt to buy between 300 to 330. Let's see, Pat says, what do you think? Will BTC make an all-time high in alt season? Pat, not gonna lie to you, I'm 50-50 right now because I had a reminder on my phone to sell Bitcoin, to sell everything, and that literally reminder came around 3 days ago. So, was that a good reminder? Maybe so. Maybe we did top out. Tip Topper, how did you learn how to trade? From who did you learn? How do you find a good mentor? Honestly, I just looked at various good accounts on X, and then I watched a lot of YouTube videos from reputable people. Then from there, it's I got a little bit better. And just through repetition, I practiced TA and then just went from there. But yeah, checking the people on that I linked on X is the one that's, you can definitely learn a lot from them. Carson says, why is the market bearish right now when October is normally bullish? Because a lot of people were front-running October being bullish. Therefore, at the beginning was bullish and then had a fake out because you have, obviously, the government shutdown. You have a lot of uncertainty with tariffs and still, I mean, it's the market is getting liquidity on both sides. So market makers make money when shorts are liquidated and when longs are liquidated. So you're going to see these extremes, especially because we had so much euphoria over the past few weeks. So you're going to have a mean reversion. Tip Topper says, what's the evidence pointing to an extended cycle to May? The main evidence for that is because we basically waited for rate cuts until September versus July. So that's going to push it back. Because also the money printer is still going. When the money printer stops, then that's when you have the top in the market. You also have the Ethereum staking ETF going to get approved. You have the accumulation plan for the Bitcoin SBR from the United States government. Still has yet to be announced. You have ETFs getting approved. You have more rate cuts. You have the money printer turning on, potentially more stimulus. And then also in May of 2026, you have Jerome Powell getting out of office, and you have GTA 6 launching. I think that'd be pretty poetic for a cycle top. Khalid, if crypto is banned in Bangladesh, you could use a VPN and then just try to get creative with that and use like some crypto gift cards. Gift cards you can buy with crypto on, what's it called? Bitrefil. Bitrefil, Bittrefel, I think. Bitrefil is you can buy gift cards with that and use that. So potentially look at that and other ways that you can buy gift cards with crypto. Yeah, ETH got wrecked, Ed. ETH got wrecked. Trend says, bro's cooking us on BTC longs. Thanks. Ain't no problem, guys. Again, if 119 holds, because that's where we had our Bitcoin long at 119 was the bottom entry, and that could be good, guys. That could be good. So, was this the major drop? We'll have to see. Let me see our liquidations real quick. 771 million. Remember what I said in the beginning of this? I said you want to see liquidations near $1 billion to mark a local bottom within 1 to 3 days. Well, we're getting pretty close right now. 771 million. I'm going to keep an eye on this as well. I recommend you guys do the same. Bitesy says I got into BTC long at 120K. Awesome. That's my entry as well. Kinez says, World Liberty Fi, what's happened? Eric Trump, you said bullish. Yeah, exactly. World Liberty Fi, ever since it lost 20 cents, has been bearish. Already checked cake ER7. I was saying look for 313 because right now the cake is spoiled. DS Random, def not topped. All right. ETH, I went over that earlier. Good support near 4,000 and then 37 and 3,800. What do I think of Zcash harsh? I mean, it's okay, but I think just a lot of influencers are pumping it right now. That's why it's going up with the whole privacy narrative. What's your opinion on Aptos? Indifferent on Aptos. Rotate port to BTC. I think Bitcoin dominance is still rising right now. Alts are bleeding, and so it's not bad to rotate some of the port to BTC, to be honest. Human says, do you believe in Aster long term? It's an okay platform. I'm looking for $3 to $4. Chud Jack, Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Look at that. Bitcoin dominance is rising. Look at this little squiggly line that I drew on Bitcoin dominance and how it's playing out. Isn't that crazy? Once Bitcoin dominance gets near 60%, boom, we'll go down. But yeah, still looks like it's some room to go on Bitcoin dominance. Robin says, if my liquidation is 91 cents on Aster, am I safe or not? Technically, you should be safe, Robin. If $1.20 fails on Aster, then maybe you may get concerned. But until then, I think you're relatively safe. What do I think about ETH? I think that there's still potential it can go to 37 and 3,800. I'm definitely going to have longs near that area. Yeah, when you doubt, just zoom out. S&P and NASDAQ are negative 2%. Is ETH going to recover? I think so, yeah. By the time it reaches 37, 3,800. Kelly, what I said on Solana was that the good support levels are 201 and 207, but right now I'm looking for that 200 level. 200 on Solana is the target now since it broke below 215. But here's the thing. Let's see where the daily closes. If the daily closes above 215, that's actually pretty bullish. So let's see what happens. But the next level I'd look at for Solana would be near 200. Chud Jack, I do still think Bitcoin will hit 140 to 150K by the end of the year. I still think it's a possibility. G Mindset, the market's down because of Trump raising the tariffs on China or threatening tariffs on China. Anytime there's tariff news, the market gets spooked. Antonio, RWA, let's see. Apt World, ATH will boom. I don't know if those will boom. APT World and all-time high. For RWA coins, I would look more maybe Ondo, C-Pool, and a few others. I'll keep you guys updated with RWA coins, though. Yeah, Lewis, for Aster, I still expect $3 to $4 on that. Tip Topper, which alt sectors do you think are going to have their moment in the next leg up? Meme coins, I think, are big. So keep an eye on memes. And then altcoin sectors, I still think RWA has a shot. And I'm going to look for a few others as well. I'll let you guys know. No thoughts on FET, Alexander. I'm actually not that bullish on it, to be honest. Luis says, ETH opportunity to get in premium. There you go, Luis. ETH opportunity to get in premium indeed. Anthony says, why did everything just crash? Because of the Trump tariff news. Stefan says, thoughts on BNB meme coins for the next month? Not really bullish on BNB memes. G-Mindset says Apex Protocol. So let's go and look at that. And then I'll have to leave in 2 minutes, guys. I got actually a meeting I got to go to. So if Apex loses 147, it's the gulag. I'll tell you that right now on the daily. So keep an eye on that. It's either bounce here or the gulag. Dr. Grind says, bro, where are you getting all these jokes? Hey, I'm just having fun with it right now. Honestly, bear markets provide the best memes. Bear markets and just drops in general. So, but you got to provide some humor, guys. You got to provide some. People tell me to look at World Liberty Fi. Let me see what World Liberty Fi is doing. Are we having some fun with World Liberty Fi? Guys, this is not freedom, guys. This is not liberty. This is taking away our liberty, guys. We have no money if we lose our money. So, ooh, I don't know if we should. Wow, 12 cents it went to, guys, on World Liberty Fi. What name should that token be now? I mean, World Poverty Fi, right? It's definitely not liberating. I mean, it's liberating you from your money. I'll tell you that. Definitely liberating you from your money. I mean, if you had money now, you don't have any more. So, World Poverty Fi. How about that? Sebastian, so I am not Luke Belmar, even though a lot of people in this chat call me Luke. My name is John Luke. I guess my voice sounds similar to Luke, but we are not the same. We may talk similar, but yes, we are not the same. Chud Jack, my stock RSI and RSI settings are default. Jay, is this drop a buy or wait for lower? You know, it's kind of a wait and see right now. Like I said, I'm looking for the 24-hour liquidations. 772. Once this gets near $1 billion, I would be apt to buy. I would definitely be apt to buy. Because everyone is scared. Everyone is losing their minds right now. Everyone is actually looking for new cardboard boxes to live in after this drop. And so when there's a lot of fear like that, you got to think that, you know, there's maybe close to a bottom. There's always this tariff news. Let's see. UK ETN got approved as well. Nice. Yeah, Doge does look better than Pepe this cycle. Mahedi says Bitcoin dominance is almost touching 50 EMA on the weekly. May drop after that. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. Hey, no problem, Sebastian. You have a good weekend as well. Let's see. Doolin says, come on, guys. You're forgetting the like button amongst the crash. Yes, please like. Only 33 people are liking this video with 127 viewers. Guys, I know you don't like the market dropping right now, but if you could like the video, that would be amazing, okay? The two are different. Just because the market's dropping doesn't mean you can't like the video. So I would appreciate likes. It helps spread us to the masses. If you want to join Gem Winners Premium, you can join the description below. 1 Ethereum for a year. At this point, Gem Hunters Premium is going to be worth $500 with the way Ethereum is dropping. But like I said, I think Ethereum bottom is going to be 3,800. Besides that, what other jokes do I have for today? I don't know. I mean, the best way to deal with this pain is through humor, honestly. I mean, seeing this, all you can do is laugh when everything's dropping like this. I mean, literally, that's all you can do, right? Like, you got to have fun with it at the end of the day. I'm still my Bitcoin long. Is it going to get wrecked? Most likely, but still holding it right now. So let's see what happens. Sebastian said, yep, voice is very similar. Do you think Render will hit? No, I'm not that bullish on Render. I think it'll hit 15. Chud Jack says, I'm utterly in shock. You sound like Luke Belmar. I'm trying to think of some Luke Belmar quotes. What does Luke say a lot? I mean, you know, where attention goes, money flows. As a man thinketh, so is he. What's some more? Maybe I should pretend like I'm Luke Belmar for one day and just start spitting a lot of the same quotes and a lot of the same wisdom. And maybe that'd be pretty funny. Awesome. Appreciate you guys liking it. All right. Sweet, guys. Ibrahim says, have a look at the Hyperliquid Whale Tracker. Oh, I'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Appreciate that. Awesome. Yes. I studied, bro. I studied. There you go. There you go for you guys. That was pretty funny. Guys, you just got to buy it. You just gotta, as long as you study, you'll be okay. But you people must have no life watching my IG stories. I saw that, actually. I saw Luke post that. That was pretty funny. But with that, guys, I got to head out. I do love you guys, but I got to head out. I got some meeting I got to go to at 11 a.m. It's 10:54 a.m. Like I said, with this drop, it's not fun when drops like these happen. Obviously, with Trump, Trump and China's tariff news where he may raise tariffs on China, it'll cause more friction, but let's see what happens. Let's see if they come to an agreement. It is approaching the weekend, so you're going to have that standard weekend volatility. What I would say, guys, for anyone who's wondering what's going on right now, wait for let me link this real quick, guys. Let me link this real quick. There you go. Monitor the CoinGlass liquidation data. Once it gets over $1 billion, that's when you want to start buying, because usually that marks the bottom. within 1 to 3 days. And so keep that in mind. Once this reaches near $1 billion, if we have some more liquidations, that's when you want to start investing. Also, guys, if you haven't followed me on X at the CryptoData, definitely do so. Try to give you guys the best content I can. Check my pinned message. Check all of my messages that I have on here. Try to give you guys the best content. So as always, guys, I love you. I hope you have a great weekend wherever you're at. Again, stay safe. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to have another live stream for you guys at 1 p.m. CST going over narrative rotations and how to spot them and trade them. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good video as well. But have a great day, guys. Have a great weekend. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.